there, here with Rob from Light into Europe today, and excited to talk a little bit about Light into Europe and what you guys are doing here in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit of how you guys got started. What's the roots of Light into Europe?
Sure. So thanks for having me here, first of all.
Excited to have you.
So Light into Europe actually started in 1986 with the idea of bringing aid and Christian materials over into Romania, and really ramped up after the revolution and the fall of communism. It was set up by my boss and the founder and president of the charity, Stan Platt.
Okay.
They for the first 15 years they started with these aid missions, and then Stan himself is a pilot.
Oh, wow.
So he brought over a plane and set up the air ambulance, running aid missions and helping people that needed help to get to hospitals and flying them.
Wow.
And then as that service developed in 2003, they handed that air ambulance service over to Smurd to continue.
Yep.
So that's the origins, and then following handing that over, they looked at what kind of opportunities still existed here in Romania, where the real need was.
Yeah.
They did some surveys, spoke to people, and found these two groups, the blind and the deaf communities, that really felt marginalised. They had no support, and so following that, the Light into Europe focused their efforts really on supporting blind and deaf people here in Romania to have the independence, to be able to integrate into society, and to give them the skills really to live their own life, and like other people here in Romania.
Wow. Very cool. And we have a little bit of a glimpse into the work you guys do here in the studio. Down there is a guide dog, right? Tell us about the dog a little bit.
Sure. So with us today we have Desmond, who's one of our guide dogs in training.
Awesome.
He's a year and 7 months old right now.
Okay.
He's a Labrador, a white Labrador. And he's really a fantastic dog, and we'll do a great job working with a blind person. So the first guide dog actually we had here in Romania was in 2010. Okay. That's when that program started. Before that, we did some research into that area. But the first one in 2010, and since then we've really tried to develop our knowledge and expertise. Yeah. Got more and more dogs, and over that time we've worked with 50 dogs as part of the program. So we're really thankful for these opportunities. So Desmond here is going to be going to a blind person over the next couple of months. Okay. So he's done his training. What the training involves really. So it starts from when they're born. So we breed them from guide dog stock. So the mother and father are both guide dogs. Okay. They'll stay with their mother until they're about 8 weeks old, at which point they'll go to a volunteer that looks after the dog for us. Over those first, from 8 weeks until about a year and a half, that volunteer will help the dog to develop into a strong, a confident, obedient dog that is ready to do the guide dog training. So we ask those volunteers to take them into different locations, so busy locations, shops, restaurants, into parks, how to interact with the dogs, how to interact with other people or not, onto busy streets, onto quiet streets. So just for the dog to experience as much as possible when it's young, so it's prepared for that life as a guide dog. So at about a year and a half old, they'll enter into their formal training, their formal guide dog training, where they'll learn all the skills they need to be able to keep a blind person safe when they're working, because the blind person really has to trust the dog and to know that it's not going to make a mistake, it's going to keep them safe.
Yeah.
So that at that point, the dog learns to wear the harness, the guide dog harness, and to love the guide dog harness. Like, we want our dogs to enjoy their work and to be positive about everything they do. So we encourage our dogs, when you put the harness up, they'll want to put their head in. So we teach that. We teach them to stop at the curbs, like when they get to the edge of a road. Yeah. We'll teach them to find steps, so they'll be walking along. If there's a steps up, they'll put their front paws on the step.
Oh, wow.
To indicate to the blind person, okay, there's something to go up here, so you need to stop.
Yep.
You need to be careful. Then you need to go up these steps.
Okay, and they feel that they can feel the dog through the harness.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So the harness is a rigid metal handle. So they when the dog is standing or when the dog is sitting, they can feel the harness move the position of that.
Okay.
And they can feel the harness like moving from left to right if the dog is avoiding obstacles. So these dogs really need to, like in Bucharest and in Romania in general, they need to be very well trained to be able to deal with all the obstacles.
What do you mean by obstacles? I can't imagine what you're talking about. Obstacles. We have beautiful wide sidewalks, crystal clear.
Yeah, nothing to be aware of if you're blind, if you can't see.
If you're blind. No.
Yeah. If I can say to you, imagine you're blind, like and walking down a Bucharest pavement. What things you would encounter there, and think of a guide dog having to figure out these things. So if you can imagine, say you're walking down the pavement. And you've got a car parked on the pavement. The dog has to figure out, okay, is there space for me to continue on the pavement? Not just for me as the dog, is there space for me as the dog and my owner? So he has to be able to figure out the space for two people. And then if there's not space, he's going to have to stop at the edge of the road, move onto the road, and keep as close to the pavement as possible, and then find the safe space to come back onto the pavement. Or for example, if you've got lots of a busy pavement, lots of people moving towards you, you can imagine as a blind person, if you have no dog, you're going to be bumping into people. But the dog, again, it's a good mobility tool. It keeps that person safe and avoiding these people and not crashing into people.
It's incredible.
Yeah, they're really fantastic dogs, and the training is intense, yet the end results are really fantastic. And seeing a blind person working with their guide dog and going out alone, like from their home to place of work or home to the shop, is a really fantastic experience, vision, and seeing them together is a really great thing.
You guys really, that has to change their lives radically. To go from being blind with no guide dog to now having a guide dog is a life-altering experience for many blind people, I would imagine.
It really is, and we've seen numerous stories of that. If you can imagine, you don't have to rely on someone else like to go out with you. You can go out on your own. We actually had a blind couple in Arad. That was one of their stories. They one of the reasons they wanted a guide dog was so they could go out on a romantic walk together and not have to have someone accompanying them. So they can now have a little romantic walk along the riverside in Arad, along with their guide dog. So that's really fantastic. And then it's also key that they can. One of the things about having a guide dog is that they can move faster. Like we often have questions from our blind people, like, I can use a cane, but it can be quite slow with a cane. So will a guide dog make that better? So again, it's a faster way for them to travel. And not relying on someone, not relying on their cane, but having a dog to take them from A to B. And it equally changed their life in the fact that I think we've seen today how beautiful Des is, and what a great dog, and how people are attracted to dogs.
Yes.
So it's also a great way for a blind person to meet people. They're not just a blind person, but they're a blind person with this beautiful dog. So people want to come and speak to you.
Wow.
As a guy, I can say with a dog, you certainly the ladies like to come and say hello to the dog. So can certainly vouch for that.
Yeah.
And another story from one of our beneficiaries, actually, she was an older lady that lived in a block. She was blind, and she didn't know anyone in her block. And then as soon as she got the dog, she's going out with the dog. She has this beautiful dog. Then everyone actually knows her now, and she's she has all the friends in the block now. So lots of positive stories, both for mobility and also on the social side. Yeah,
I can imagine. I would think of the companionship with the dog as one element, but I would have never thought that it would open them up to the broader community. I would imagine a lot of people just don't know what to say. They haven't, especially in Romania, where unfortunately people with disabilities are oftentimes ostracized from community from an early age. I was talking with a mother of a child with autism, and she was saying that even at the playground, I mean, her daughter has never been able to engage with other kids, and other kids and their parents have said stay away.
Yeah.
And I imagine many people, blind people, have similar experiences in life. But the dog, like you said earlier, when you came in the office, bringing the dog up, everybody comes and talks to the dog. You were in the shadows.
And it can be an issue as well sometimes. Like obviously, it is a working dog, so we need to make sure that not everyone's distracting the dog. And that's one thing I would mention here. That when you see a guide dog working, that you can go up to the person, but don't try and distract the dog. Don't just go up and stroke the dog. But do speak to the person and say, "Oh, what a lovely dog. It's okay if I stroke it." So it has its positive and negatives in a sense, but yes.
That's really interesting.
And actually, you mentioned, it's an important point you mentioned, that for so long, visually impaired people, hearing impaired people have been told, stay at home, I'll do it for you. But what we hear at Lighting Europe about is really getting rid of that stereotype and saying, look, you can do it. You can go out, you can get a job, you can get an education, you can live a life here. So we're trying to really equip these people with the tools and abilities and skills and equipment sometimes, like the dog being kind of an equipment, to actually go out and be a part of the society and really live an independent, fulfilled life.
Okay, wow. And what if somebody was interested in getting a dog, a guide dog? What does that look like? What is the process? Sure. How long does it take?
Sure. So the process would be that for the person to initially contact ourselves, either by phone or through our Facebook page or via an email from the Light Into Europe website. You can find all those information. lightintoeurope.ro. They would initially have a phone call, find out a little bit about what it is to have a dog, because it is a responsibility. Find out about what the dog can do, what the dog can't do. We'll have some basic information about the person, how good their sight is. Okay. And then after that, we'll arrange for a visit to our office for a more detailed assessment, where we'll go through kind of like the lifestyle of the person, find about what they do in their daily lives, what they want the dog to do, and we'll do some test walks to find out about how mobile the person is, how fast they walk. Okay. And then we'll do put the dog in harness and do a few test walks with a couple of different dogs that we have in training, and ask the person, okay, how do you feel? Like, which one's best for you? Like, who did you feel most comfortable with, based on speed, based on size? And then if everything goes well there, if we're happy, if the blind person is happy, they'll call us up and say, okay, yes, I want to have a dog. We'll put them on the waiting list, and then as soon as we have the right dog, an available dog that's finished the training, we'll try and match that dog with the right blind person, and they'll do their training together. So I can't say exactly how long it would take, because the matching procedure is very specific. We need to find the right dog for the right person to make sure it's a successful match. So like I said, based on the size, the speed of the dog, their lifestyle, and what they want to use the dog for. Okay. So it could take anywhere from just a few months up to a few years to find the right dog. Because we do have a waiting list of around 30 people right now. So I couldn't promise someone to come along tomorrow and have a dog, but certainly we could make an application, and if the right dog came along, then they would be matched together. Okay. And just to explain a little bit more about that matching procedure, when the training of the dog with the blind person, when they make the match, the blind person will come to our office and have, say, a week of bonding with the dog. They'll learn about caring for the dog, feeding the dog, picking up the poo after the dog, all important things, and just spending time with them, making a bond with the dog, and learning to love each other. Wow. And after they've made that, then they'll learn the basics about how to use a guide dog. The basic commands like forward, straight on, wait, left, right, things like that. So after that, they'll go to the location of the blind person and learn some of the 3 key routes that the blind person needs to use the dog on, just to get the dog used to those routes so it knows them. And then after that, they're if they graduate and we're both happy and it's a successful partnership, then they'll graduate and they'll go to work together.
Wow.
We do, as Lifechanging, we continue to support that person. The dog remains our property on loan to the blind person, so we'll continue to support them with the food, the veterinary costs, and also our professional support from our trainers. Like if they have a problem, then just get on the phone. What's going on? What's wrong? Can we help? So yeah, we're not just giving them the dog and leaving them, but we're really supporting that person in their journey together.
One thing you mentioned earlier is the dog, it retires as well, that guide dogs are retired. And you haven't had this happen yet in Romania, the timing of when you guys started, but explain that a little bit. Why would you retire a dog, and give us a little bit of what that looks like?
Sure, of course. It'll be a strange feeling for a blind person to know that, I'm not going to have my dog anymore. What's going on there? Around kind of 9 or 10 years old, the dogs will tend to look at retiring a dog, just because it's very hard work for a guide dog, both mentally and physically, to wear the harness, to think about the dangers that are ahead. Okay, I've got to stop there. I've got to go around this obstacle. At around that age, we find that the dogs, from experience with our partnership with other guide dog schools, that's the right age based on the fact that the dog will slow down a little bit. It'll make a few mistakes here and there. It won't stop at it won't find the right steps, or it'll go off a little bit of other direction. So we want the blind person to be able to continue working properly and not be hindered by the dog slowing down. So around that time, 9 10 years old, we'll speak to the blind person. We'll ask them how things are going, do a health checks on the dogs, monitor the dog, and then if that's right, then we'll take that dog and retire it, which involves either it can go back to the person that had it as a puppy, first puppy, and during the training phase, or we'll find another volunteer for it just to be as a pet dog, and the dog can enjoy its retirement. It's done its work. It can go and just have a relaxing lifestyle. It can lie down. It can play in the garden, things like that.
Wow. Yeah, comparing the life of a guide dog compared to maybe your average dog, it hit me earlier that, the average dog's at home alone while the family goes to work or whatnot. The dog's alone all day. This dog's working.
Exactly. Yeah, these dogs are always with the visually impaired person. So they're waking up in the morning, going out for their morning routine, eating, going to work with actually guiding the person to work. So that's a real big part of it. Then they'll stay with the person at work, either under their desk. They'll sit there under their desk, take them to the toilet, take them for a coffee, and then take them home from work. Things like that. If they're going out in the evening, they'll go out together in the evening. Traveling by metro, traveling by bus. So they're always together, and it like I say, it is physically hard work, but not like I said earlier, we use positive methods. So the dogs want to do these things. They love to do. They love to guide. They love to stop at they love to find the curbs because they know they're going to get a real positive reward. And actually, that's part of the reason why we use Labradors and Golden Retrievers. Because they have that desire to please, they want to please their master. They respond very well to food, so they're easy to train with a little kibble. And as soon as you give them a treat, then you're like, the best person, you're the king. And they have the right physical attributes to be able to guide a blind person. They have that energy and
Wow. One of the things you mentioned was volunteers for puppies. I would imagine this is quite a popular idea for people. Maybe they don't always follow through on it, but the concept of having a puppy. Tell us a little bit about that and how people are partnering with you guys through volunteering by providing for the dogs.
Sure. So after the initial 8 weeks where the dog, the puppies spend with their mother, then we're actually looking look for volunteers and move them to volunteers, one dog per one volunteer.
Okay.
And that dog would stay with the volunteer from around 8 weeks up to a year and a half in age. It is, you're right, it's a very cute idea, isn't it, to have a puppy running around.
Yeah.
But we do need a specific type of person.
Yeah.
Initially someone that can stay at home, because initially they're not toilet trained, so we need someone to teach that. And they can't go out initially due to their having their injections and things like that. So you need to be committed to the cause for that initial period. But then the real good times start after that. You're really involved in the training of the dog. You're teaching it the basics, like to sit, to get down, to stay, to wait, to be obedient. So it can be a real positive experience. And we'll again, as an organisation, we'll offer support when needed for that, and try and encourage our volunteers. One thing that we really want to start in the future is like a monthly puppy class for all our puppies that are born to come together, to learn, to socialise, how to interact with other dogs. Again, based on our experience, based on our knowledge with other schools, guide dog schools around the world, then we can try and support all these volunteers to give us the best quality of dog to be able to start the guide dog training. So if people are interested then in doing that for our next litter, we are looking to breed in the next month. If we have people that are interested, then please do again contact us and let us know. You can have another dog, that's not a problem. Or you can, but you need to be able to stay at home initially, or work from home, or yes.
Yeah. Okay. And how else can people help? I mean, if people here and are interested in this, and I think it's a pretty novel concept especially for Romanian society. You don't see guide dogs out. No. We were talking about it earlier. You don't see blind people out with walking canes, and so it's something that I think people are intrigued by. You said earlier, and I agree, it's a country of people love dogs.
Yeah.
And so what else can people do? How can they help you guys and be part of your mission?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So initially, I'd say a really easy way is to help us spread the word that guide dogs do exist here. That's a really tangible way that just speak to us, get some information, find out about it, and then tell people. Do you know that guide dogs exist? Do you know how they help a blind person? Do you know that they have access into shops, to restaurants, into shopping centres? Did you know that? And if on that topic, if you see a guide dog being rejected with its owner, then maybe just give it a little bit of support there. Help them. Did you know that? Speak to the security guard. Say, this is a guide dog. Have you seen one of those? So just a little practical way that people can help out initially. Tell your friends, I met a guide dog the other day. This helped in this way. That's one really easy way. Otherwise, like I said, we're looking for volunteers for the dogs. We're looking for volunteers that can help just before a person has a guide dog, just encouraging the blind person to be able to get out a little bit. If someone needs support, we can call on you. Can you help this blind person to get from here to here? And we'll give some training about the orientation, how to actually properly guide a blind person, not just pulling them along, but actually properly help supporting them. Okay. And then if people had any specific skills that could be of interest, like either design skills or I'm not going to limit it to just one thing. But if you have a skill that you feel could contribute to the running of the organisation, it'd be great to hear from people as well. Nice. We also do events with both visually impaired people and deaf young people, so it'd be great to have people that are willing to get involved in those events, go into the deaf schools and help us out with those side of things. And then we also do fundraising events, both from smaller community events to balls, sit-down balls. So if people are interested in supporting financially as well, either making a donation or coming along to one of those events, please do sign up for our mailing list. Contact us via the website or on Facebook, and we'd love to let you know about upcoming events that we have.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing all this. I think it's really informative for me personally, and I think for people watching to learn more about guide dogs. And some of the struggles that the blind community faces in Romania. One question in closing I always ask everybody is when you hear the word good, what is good to you? And it's a bit of a tough one, but we let everybody have the challenge and throw them at it. What's good to you?
A good question. So for me, I think good is about empowering people in a positive way. Like, it's using our skills to encourage someone to be the best that they can. Be that through an encouraging word, a little action, a support, a bit of support coming alongside someone. But yeah, just helping that person and using your skills to actually make the best out of someone, and the result of that, I would say, is good. It's bringing up that person to another level, and really encouraging them. And I think I could say Des here, the guide dog. Seeing him, he's doing that, and so he's a good dog.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Well, thank you for being with us today and for sharing your story and what you're doing. It's really incredible, and we're cheering you on.
Thanks for the opportunity. Like I said, I really believe in the difference these dogs can make. So thank you for that.
Right. Thank you.
Cheers.